how do you keep the rabbits warm? I mean, everybody keeps asking me how I keep the rabbits warm. First off, rabbits can handle cold more than they can handle the heat. That being said, they still require warmth, and they have to have a way to get warm. Do you see the guinea pig there by the fence? It's by the black opening. Let me see if I can get it in here. It's eating. You see? Hello. So what do I do before it gets really cold? Well, I fill up their pen with lots and lots and lots and lots of green stuff. So, like yesterday, I knew that today was going to be like this. Actually, the bad weather started yesterday, but I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have to go out in the rain. So, and I wanted to make sure that they had food, and more importantly, I wanted to make sure they had warmth. So I filled their pen up all the way to the top with green stuff. I mean, normally they'll eat a bucket a day of food. I gave them 4 buckets worth of food. So they have with what to eat. They have a place where they can bury under. And all of that greenery actually is on top of old greenery that has already started to compost. So they're getting natural heat from underneath. So they're not walking on cold ground. They're walking on warm ground. And then, of course, they've got their food. They can burrow in it. And all those layers and layers of green material give them heat, gives them warmth. So they're actually quite fine. And as you could see from the little guy, pointing out, he's not hiding. They're out and about and they're eating. I had originally thought, well, maybe I could put a heat lamp, which is one of the reasons why they're here close to my house instead of over at the farm. And then I thought about it and said, no, a heat lamp is just going to make them sick, because the heat lamp would be on one side. They're going to go from heat to cold to heat to cold to heat to cold, and that could potentially make them sick. I'm going to zoom back out again. Look at that. The rain has started coming down heavily again. We're told that it might actually snow, or at least get snow flurries in the taller mountains. So I live in a mountain, certainly not on one of the tallest, but every now and then we're getting a snow flurry here and there. I checked the thermometer outside, and we are at 2 degrees Celsius at 11 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's hailing right now. Don't know if you can tell, but listen. That's hail. The chickens are kept dry by the nature of their coop, which is under the pool deck. And they have, under the stairs is dry, and then just to the left of the stairs, they've got another little housing area with a covered roof. So they're definitely dry. And then they've got all that area under the deck that they can run around and still keep dry. You see behind their water container, there's another little building, and they're actually huddled up in under there. Chickens do pretty well in the cold, so I don't have to worry about heating them up. And the same thing goes for chickens as goes for the rabbits. And that is, if you heat their space and then they go out in the cold, the transfer between the cold and the heat is actually very bad for them. And do you hear the hail on the umbrella? And you see the hail gathering. Thankfully, I don't have to go outside to see the quail. I'm here in my living room. And their area is actually protected from the strong winds and the heavy, heavy rains, although, as you can see, it still gets wet. And you see the quail. They walk around, and they've got a few spaces where they can stay in out of the rain. Now, if you look inside those spaces, you'll see that they are empty. Empty spaces. See that? They're empty. There's one walking next to that one on the outside of the space. And then, of course, you've got under the bench. Most of the quail, where are they? They're there. They're under the lavender bush. That's where most of them stay when it's actually raining. So they're rather protected, and also they're cold hardy. So I don't have to worry about them. And it's actually quite nice to know that I don't have to worry about the cold with my animals. I don't. They're just fine. So as long as they've got food and water, I don't have to go out to them at night to check on them, to make sure they're warm enough. I don't have to go out and make sure that they've got food and water. I can stay indoors during the daytime in weather like this. So days like today are actually vacation days for me. So what do I do on my vacation days? I take it easy. I'll sew. Sometimes I'll go out and look at the shops. There's not much for me to do around here anyway during the rain. So I take advantage of these days. Until next time.